Monte Baranci in the extreme northeast of Italy on a beautiful afternoon with the grasslands covered with snow, although it's already melting up there. And I really just wanted to show you that mountain over there, far away, which you can probably see. That's Monte Elmo, which is a mountain that marks the border between Italy and Austria. And at the foot of that mountain there is a plain, there is a big flat area, which is where the Austrians arrived in World War I during the First World War. And they attacked and they arrived there and they managed to invade part of Italy, but then the Italians courageously pushed them back all the way to where the valley becomes narrow, so that they would not be able to spread around and then progress. And well, they've been there, they've stayed there ever since. And no, I'm just saying this because these days there's a lot of talk about a Russian attack on Western Europe, still relatively remote, but regardless, they're talking about it. And I imagine that in a hypothetical future, an attack on Italy from Russia would come from there as well. And so I suppose that on the Italian side, we would be probably right here, right where I'm standing, trying to face them, if they manage indeed to spread out into that flat area and then advance more easily. Anyway, that's it's a bit of a grim consideration that I'm making here, but I'm making it also. Let's see, here I am. I'm also making it this consideration after a little poll that I made in 3 different WhatsApp groups with my relatives, my friends, actually, people I've known all my life. It's 3 different groups. One is French speaking, people I've known since forever, basically high school and university friends. Belgians, mostly Belgians, there's a French too in there. And so there's 3 or 4 of them in that group. Then there's another group, which is an Italian group, and I've also known them for a very long time. And then there is an English group, English as in British. Okay, it's also childhood friends, people I've known for way too long, almost. And I've asked those 3 distinct groups a very simple question. And the question is, in the event of a war with Russia, since you know the talk these days is about reinstating the military service, at least it is so in Italy and in France, and they will reinstate it at least partially. They will reinstate it on a voluntary basis, but who knows if one day it's going to become compulsory again. Anyway, beyond the point, I asked this very simple question in all 3 groups: the French speaking one, the Italian one, and the British one. In the event of a war with Russia, if you were drafted for combat, would you go? Would you go and fight Russia? You know, not in a war opposing us to Russia through Ukraine, you know? I mean, in the event that we just would have to face the Russians on our doorsteps. And well, the answers are pretty clear-cut, I would say. In the Italian group, there was bantering and self-irony and talks about finding some good exotic place where to, you know, spend a quieter life and not face this prospect. Basically, all of them said no, I'm not. I mean, true, they are people who are in their 40s, they have their little comfort and whatever, but as far as I know, the people fighting currently in Ukraine, a lot of them are in that age range. Fathers, middle-aged men. It's absolutely awful. Anyway, the Italians unanimously said no. And the French and French speakers, basically Belgians, also said no. Although I have to say that in that group, one of them is a nihilist, so he really just doesn't care, and another one is just a Putinist. I mean, the only reason I'm still exchanging anything with him is because I've known him for years, but I cannot stand the fact that he is clearly pro-Putin, not just neutral or whatever. Anyway, so obviously he was not going to answer yes, and so that's a no too in the French-speaking group. Whereas in the British group, it's actually two English guys I've known for a very long time. The answer was yes immediately, like no question. When do we go? And I don't know. I mean, obviously this pool is purely symbolic. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, it doesn't have any real value, but it does have a bit of a symbolic value, like I said. It does make me think that England, Albion's historic and almost genetic readiness to fight against the Russian bear should never be doubted or underestimated. I suppose that there will always be an England. I guess that's how I'm going to conclude this video. Cheers!